Hustlers is proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.
Good today, better tomorrow.
Very excited this morning. We have a royal hustler of note. It's Mr. Gideon Shilongo, ONL Director for Group Corporate Relations. He graduated with an advanced diploma in business administration from the Association of Business Executives in the UK in 1997. And then he began his career as a teacher. And that was followed by a stint as a newsreader and program presenter at NBC. And then he spent the following years gaining experience at key government institutions and NGOs. And then he joined the ONL Group of Companies in 1998 as the manager of corporate affairs at Namibia Breweries Limited until 2001. And then he served a 5-year term as the CEO of the Namibia Tourism Board before he returned to ONL as the NBL Corporate Affairs Manager. And by 2012, he was appointed the Chief Corporate Relations Officer at the ONL Center. And now Mr. Gideon serves on several boards and has memberships with a few professional bodies. So what a man to have on a Royal Hustler. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Quite a resume you have there.
Sorry?
I'm saying quite a resume that you have there.
Yeah, sometimes you forgot about those things.
Let's begin where things usually begin, way back. So please tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of where you were born, where you were raised, and how was that experience like for you?
Yeah, no, I was born in an area called Tokahao in North, and I grew up like any other young boys of my age, you know, doing home course and the like, and playing and so on, and going to school, and of course aspiring. You know, you always had a role model to look up to.
Yes.
Whether it was teachers or priests or what have you. So there was nothing. There is nothing special about it. It was just a normal upbringing in the village.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of village, growing up, we're not really exposed to much. I grew up with my grandmother in dusty village of Katima. So during that time, not being exposed to just what you have, what was your biggest dream growing up?
Yeah, of course, my father was, in a way, a political activist, and they were church people. So, you know, you have Sunday going to church, you have Sunday schools, and of course they were also subsistence farmers, so looking after cattle, livestock, going to cattle posts during school holidays, and so forth, and also joining, whether it's boy guides, Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and sure, you know, you aspire to grow up, because whenever you are a child, you always want to grow up and become a major.
Yes.
You get tired of being controlled and be told what to do and not to do. Yeah. And, you aspire to be in high school. So, and every time you achieve those things, you know, then when you come to school, you aspire to be like that child.
Yes.
Who is always the first in class, you know, who is always, you know, the role model at school, class captain, or a head prefect, and so forth. So then comes sport. I was not that much sports person, but I have my attempt on boxing.
Oh wow!
and goalkeeping, but I didn't go very far with it.
By choice or by circumstance?
I think by that they were the easiest I could handle.
Okay.
So I was not a runner. I couldn't handle running.
Yeah.
So. And yeah, so and of course, being a role model, you look at that time in our setting, late 70s, early 80s, you didn't have many people with different careers in our communities.
Yes.
So initially, when we grew up, then you hear about engineers or you hear about medical doctors. You know, those becomes now, you know, people working in mines and what have you, apprenticeship and the like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, those were the things which were influencing you and shaping you in life. And of course, that was also the time when many of my generation was leaving the country.
It's true.
Yeah.
How did you find yourself in the UK in 1997? How did that come about?
You know, in actual fact, I didn't go to the UK.
Oh, okay.
I studied it right here.
Ah.
Yeah, so we were among the area students of the current IUM.
Oh.
So when it was not IUM, it was then Institute of Higher Education, which Mr. David Namwandi have set up. So those times, IUM was the only institution, and we were being taught right from the house, right? British courses. And we were writing British examinations at the British Council and so on. So he gave us an option where you could still work and study after hours, which that option was not readily available. So UNAM was still around. Polytechnic was just almost starting.
Yeah.
They didn't have those options. If you want to study with them, you have to do it full time. So you have to leave your work environment
altogether
and basically become a student.
Ah,
yeah.
So which means no side hustle was involved whatsoever.
No, no.
Okay.
But with David Namwandi's institution,
Yeah.
So we were, you know, he then gave us an option.
Okay.
Where you still work during the day and in the evening you attend classes.
Okay, then that makes sense. We're going to take a pause on that, take a quick musical interlude. And now that we have a bit of background, we're going to be moving forward with where you are right now and diving into ONL and the team that you're leading. Back to Mr. Gideon, who we've been speaking to, Gideon Shilongo, ONL Director for Corporate Relations there. And right now, I just want to dive into his current career. What do you find most fulfilling right now, being heading the Corporate Relations Department there by ONL?
Yeah, so what I find fulfilling is that I find myself fortunate to work in an organization or group which has a purpose that is in tune with who I am.
Ooh.
Creating a future enhancing life, which is really the purpose, a calling by which you do things to better the life, for the betterment or to better the life of other people, you know.
Yeah.
And what I find fulfilling is this organization has such such an impact in terms of its operations, its activities, its outreach, and also in terms of its own engagement with society.
Yes.
And I find that quite fulfilling. Because you know, you don't feel like I'm going to work.
Not at all.
You feel like this is really what I want to do. Yeah. So you are not necessarily doing it simply because
of a paycheck at the end of the month.
That's right. But it's because you know, how wonderful is it to see what you do. Creating a smile on the face of someone, right?
No, truly,
it's really fulfilling.
Yeah. From your resume, you wore many hats. You juggled so many balls. How have you been able to smoothly transition from so many different sectors? I mean, what's the number one key to pulling all of that off?
Yeah, many of those things they don't necessarily come with you planning to say, oh yes, I want to wear many hats. So they just come. You find yourself involved in this, or you know, or people, you know, you are invited to serve on that board, because people probably want your contribution.
And your expertise.
Yeah. They feel you can add some form of value. And it's not something you really go out and hunt for, to say, oh yes, I want to save here, I want to save there, I want to save there. So it just naturally happened.
But how are you managing to be on all of these different facets?
Yeah, no longer all of them now. And it was not all of them at the same time. But where you have them, of course, you manage your time. And what I also find with ONL is that we are actually encouraged and supported to do so as part of our contribution to society.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So so there is no limitation, or there is no upheld. You are not being held back from doing those, whether it's charity work, whether it's contributing to national development, whether it's contributing to society in whatever form. We are actually encouraged to do so.
Oh wow, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my next question then. What has been your most proudest moment as a member of the ONL team?
Yeah, my proudest moment, there were many. I should really say, in business, there is always up and downs, like in any life.
Yeah.
Business is like any person's life.
True.
So some years, economic things perform. There is a lot of people with spending power and so on. And the other time, either competition or other things, it gets tough on the business. The most delightful moment is when you see businesses which have been struggling and sometimes even being challenged with the thought whether you could really keep that business afloat. And to see such business operation recovering, and to see, ONL always investing even in hard times. Times like this, I mean, like now.
Yeah.
When many of the businesses basically hold back on investment, ONL invest. Yeah, so and to see the investments like in Midgard, where we revamp it currently completely, or you see expansion in various areas. So those are delightful moments. Yeah.
That you're still thriving under such harsh conditions and still giving back. And
yes. And basically it also gives life to others.
It does.
Because, during these challenging times when there is little activity, when your business invest in improvement, in expansion, remember you have contractors and subcontractors and what have you, who have otherwise not been able to work. But that offers them the opportunity to still remain active
and
in the economic setting.
True, and also stay afloat.
Yes.
Those are really proud moments to be able to pump life into other businesses still.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming through. We really appreciate you. And we appreciate digging into your well of wisdom and the journey of your life.
Thank you, Sibo, for having me, and it was wonderful being at 99.
Indeed.
Thank you.
That was Mr. Gideon Shilongo. Talked us through, growing up in the dusty villages, seeing himself grow from strength to strength, and now his proudest moments in ONL, being able to really give back to other businesses so they too can still thrive. Gideon Shilongo, ONL Director for Group Corporate Relations.
Oh, hi. Let me tell you why you should download the 99FM app. It's 99FM in your pocket, on the go, wherever you are. Never miss your favorite show or song ever again. Now, with live streaming only using 14 megabytes per hour, you can stream all day without worrying about your data. Also, you can stream while using other apps on your phone. How convenient is that? Available for free on all mobile devices. Download it now. 99FM, your inspiration station.
When life gets boring, we bring out our play, because playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and love. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
At UNAM, in between classes, I used to work at MTC call center.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then also I used to do nails. Like that was my side hustle.
Your side hustle?
Yeah, I've always been one to don't want to be, low on cash.
Royal Hustlers is proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation.
Good today, better tomorrow.
So, our Royal Hustler for this morning. Now, get this. The National Theatre of Namibia's new Finance and Administration Manager, Helena Shopala, has an impressive resume that spans 15 years in government institutions, corporates, and NGOs. She holds a Bachelor's of Accounting, Honors, and a Master's of Business Administration and Finance. She completed her articles at Deloitte, Namibia, as well as a Senior Management Development Program. Now, Helena has a passion for accounting and is driven by hard work, teamwork, and dedication. Helena, good morning. How are you? Thank you very much for joining us this morning on our Royal Hustler.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
A very, very impressive resume there. But where did it all start? Talk to us about where you were born, where you grew up, and your early formative years.
Okay, so I grew up, I was born in Oshakati, but then from very early on, my parents moved to Windhoek. So I grew up in the dusty streets of Katutura. Went to primary school at St. George's.
Right.
And then I did my high school at Delta Secondary School. Thereafter, I did my Bachelor of Accounting degree at UNAM. Then I also did my MBA at UNAM, and so that's basically it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You are our second Royal Hustler from Oshakati. Clearly there's something in the air or in the water there. I need to move to Oshakati because clearly you guys are doing the most, eh?
Yeah.
So, when you're younger, what were your biggest dreams, and what did you want to do growing up? Which area was accounting really that one thing that you said, you know what, this accounting thing is what I want to do, or did you have any other aspirations and dreams?
Yeah, initially I actually wanted to do dentistry, but then later in high school I realized that I can't really do the biology thing.
Yeah.
So I decided, no, let me do the commerce field. That would work out better for me.
Right.
Yes.
Being at UNAM and doing your bachelor's, and even when you did your MBA, did you at any point have a side hustle? I mean, even earlier in high school even, did you have a side hustle, something that you considered as a side hustle?
Well, at UNAM, in between classes, I used to work at MTC call center.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then also I used to do nails. Like that was my side hustle.
Your side hustle?
Yeah, I've always been one to don't want to be, low on cash.
Right.
So I've always had a side hustle, like I said, doing nails or second job at MTC in the call center.
Would you say that having a side hustle for students is, or for somebody that's still perhaps in the process, it's important? Is side hustles something that you personally think is important, considering that was the roadmap that you took?
Yes, I feel it's very, very important because I think it also helps you to learn how to manage your money And it just teaches you that, look, life is not easy. You have to work hard
Right.
in order to make it. So I think side hustles or, a part-time job, especially when you're studying, is
Right.
a good thing to get into.
Let's pivot a bit now. When you got up this morning, when you got up yesterday, when you're going to get up tomorrow, what gets you out of bed? What motivates you?
So I have 2 young children.
Okay.
And so they motivate me to work hard, be it on my career, at work, and also just to keep myself healthy and well maintained. It's mainly for them, really, but also just for myself. I believe in self-love,
Yeah.
so I motivate myself. It's like, yeah, it's all about me.
Do you have a favorite quote? Inspirational quote of something that you think about every other day?
Yeah, one of my favorite quotes is that health is wealth.
Health is what I was going to say that.
Yes.
I see we are same wavelength here. Now just to look at what you're busy with right now. You are NTN's Finance and Administration Manager. What excites you most about your new tenure at the NTN?
So from my background, I've worked mostly in the health sector. I was previously working at the Global Fund. So NTN is a totally different environment. So I'm looking forward to settling in there, seeing how things are done, performing arts. I'm quite just interested to really see a different type of environment. Yes.
Okay. Now, again, the field that you're in, finance and then accounting and all of that, it's a high functioning and high demanding job, generally speaking. How do you stay on top of your game? How do you always make sure that you bring it 100%?
I think with my type of job, what's important is to prioritize what needs to be attended to first. So usually I work on what's most important and then filter it down to what's least important. And then I also, how I stay on top of my game is that I plan.
Right.
I think planning is very important, and also balancing it out. If I'm tired, take a break and so on, take off days. And that's how I manage to keep going.
Health is wealth.
Yes.
Before I let you go, you mentioned that you have 2 lovely babies. They're going to be the future leaders of the country, them and many other young Namibians. But, from that premise, what are some of your hopes for the future of the land of the brave?
I really think one of the key areas coming from this, or we're still in this pandemic, this
Right.
COVID, I think my hope for Namibia is for us to strengthen our health systems so that at least we're able, should we experience another pandemic like this, we should be able to at least manage it and not go through the crisis that we experienced the past few months. And I just hope also Namibia, I think there's a lot of potential for growth. We have so many resources here. We have a lot of space, so I feel that there's lots of areas that can still grow, and economically we can become a better country.
Helena, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
That was Helena Shopala, who is the new NTN Finance and Administration Manager, talking to us about wealth, or health being wealth, and of course, just sharing her life with us. I hope you are inspired just as much as I am. Our Royal Hustler for today, Helena Shopala.